Residents growing up in the city of Detroit take great pride in some of the neighborhoods that grace the city. District 5 is home of some of the most beautiful neighborhoods: the Boston Edison District, Virginia Park, Midtown, and Indian Village feature some of the new beginnings the city has to offer, and a weekend favorite that thousands come to visit. If you haven't already guessed it, it's none other than Eastern Market. Even with all the beauty and grace District 5 has to offer, like all the other districts in the city, District 5 is trying to get a handle on blight. To help identify blight and spearhead the comeback in District 5 falls in the hands of District Director Vince Keenan and Deputy Director Aaron Harris.
Well, I think the reality is that we have to tackle blight, and that's the reason the mayor has sort of put us in as, he came in on our very first meeting and said, you guys will be dealing with blight exclusively. If you're not dealing with blight, you're not doing the job right. And so essentially, it is an acknowledgement of the fact that the city will not, a neighborhood will not be able to come back if you have 4 or 5 blighted homes in the neighborhood. If kids have to walk past buildings that are burnt out on their way to school. So there's an enormous problem, and we have to figure out how to deal with it. But we also know that there's an immediate impact on quality of life when we get in there. So blight is one part of the strategy. The other thing that we are going to be layering in that helps deal with dumping, for example, is the lighting strategy. Over the course of the next year, we're going to have lights on the streets. So we're trying to come at it in as many ways as possible, but we understand that quality of life is severely impacted by blighted properties.
Vince and I, we ride around our district a lot. District 5, I believe, is the biggest district, so it is pretty tough. However, we rely on, that's why it's important that we talk with leaders in our community, and they will tell us. I mean, since Mayor Duggan has opened this department up, we get calls all the time, and word travels fast. So they will tell us about any areas. I went today to go check out an area close to Latham Park with a tree and the branches in the middle of the street, and so they will absolutely call. And I think it's important that we keep up that relationship, because it's true, the district is so big, it's kind of hard to know every little thing, but we rely a lot on the residents letting us know.
Carrying out the vision for the neighborhoods falls in the hands of a veteran with over 30 years experience in city government. That person is Charlie Beckham. His knowledge of neighborhoods and city government has proven valuable to the residents of the city of Detroit.
Mike Duggan was running on his campaign. The main thrust of his campaign was that every neighborhood has a future. And what that meant is that the focus in his campaign, his administration, had he won, and of course he did that, would be to concentrate on the neighborhoods in the city of Detroit. So we created this Department of Neighborhoods, whose primary focus is going to be to provide services at a higher level to the citizens in the neighborhoods of the city of Detroit. And so that's what we've done with this new department, and it's precedent setting what we're doing. We've taken every department in the city that provides those services to the neighborhoods and put them under one umbrella. He has made me the director of that department, and so our focus for the next 4 years will be to take a look at everything that's going on in the neighborhoods, whether that's blight related, any kind of services that are going on. And so I've kind of added to that phrase of every neighborhood has a future by saying every neighborhood has a future, and the future is now. And so we're going to really begin to step up the things that we do in the neighborhoods.
District 5 is fighting blight with art.
The Heidelberg Project it's a form of art. It was a way that this gentleman, Mr. Tyree Guyton, expressed his way of really dealing with urban decay and his way of transforming a desolate and blight area into really trying to transform it into something that's beautiful in his opinion. It's a nationally recognized form of art, but for me it's been a struggle because I've heard different sides and opinions about the Heidelberg Project. So as an elected official, I have to do my due diligence and really represent everybody's concerns. So I'm trying to really bridge the gap with the Heidelberg and bring all parties together and have some good dialogue on how we can move forward. But some residents feel as if even though it brings this national attention, what are they doing within their own community to invest back in that community? Overall, I think the mayor's administration and what he's doing in regards to scrapping and dumping and things of that sort, he's really taking a lead on that. And whatever I can do as a council member, I have been on top of it and making sure that we give it attention that it needs.
The initial phase that we're dealing with right now in District 5 in particular starts with the last bit of funding that came sort of designated, it's the hand that was dealt from the previous administration. So we're looking at an area, a hardest hit funds area that's already been designated. In particular, the area I'm focusing on right now is the North End. Part of the reason for that in relation to how we deal with the community is that I can go into a neighborhood meeting in the area that there's money designated, and we can talk about which houses and when. And it can be within a month because we know where the money's coming from and we know how to get the houses down.
The North End is hopeful for a new beginning.
We've had a lot of new homes that have been built, nice homes have been built, but when it's right next door to an abandoned house, or 3 or 4 abandoned houses, we just need to, that to me is where we need to start.
Make that property available for people to develop on, and I think people will come.
I lived in this community quite a few years, and I saw it when it was blooming with stores on Oakland and all, and cleaners and markets and all, to go down to not having.
I think that's the beauty of living here on the North End, is there's such a mixture of cultures.
Some of the things I like about the North End, it's very centrally located. It's a neighborhood that has lots of amenities. I mean, there are churches and community centers and just lots of beautiful houses.
There's no secret to how to deal with blight in the sense that when you have a house that needs to come down, it's got to come down. The trick is you have to line the money up, and sometimes that takes a long time. The other part of it is you got to make sure that you give legal clearance on the title. So those two pieces are coming together. We're building new tools to do that, and we're coming out into the communities where we know we have resources, and we're beginning to communicate with people about which houses we can target first. And there may be some tweaks in that list, but for the most part, if you're in the North End in District 5, we've already been out there talking with you about what buildings are coming down and when.
Anything that's done in the North End is gonna make the whole city of Detroit bloom again itself.
City leaders also know that attracting new businesses is essential to restoring neighborhoods and attracting new residents. Businesses like Zenith are just one example of the renewed interest in Detroit.
One of the things that I'm trying to do is bring people together and support local businesses. We have to be supporters of our own. And if someone's opening something within the district, we have to do our duty to make sure that we promote that business within the community. So I think it's very important. Things are moving in the right direction. Me being here in office at the age of 26, I have hope. I'm not going anywhere. I plan on raising a family in District 5, and I would just encourage people to stick in there. We need people to stay in the city. The mayor is doing a great job working with council. Together, we can move this city forward. So stay, definitely stay.
In District 5, District Manager Vince Keenan, Deputy Manager Aaron Harris, and City Council Representative for District 5, Mary Sheffield, all represent one thing: a new beginning for District 5. For more information about your City Council representative or your Department of Neighborhood District Manager, visit DetroitMI.gov.